Have social networks reached their plateau? Basically everything there is to see from social network, or can we expect to see innovation in the future?
Of course, social networks cannot be said to have reached a plateau. If you think about it, the most commonly used social network is SMS, and that is still growing. So it is premature to declare that social networks have reached a plateau. And indeed, the exciting future is from what new forms of social communication are still ahead of us, which we have not even invented yet.
Where will we end up in terms of geolocalizing, data mining, always asking people what are you doing, with whom, where, why, for how long, and so on?
So the principle on which the web has evolved will continue to be the same, which is users will give information provided they are convinced that they get enough value in return. When users stop believing that they are getting enough value, they will protest and stop. And conversely, for the companies that operate these services, the duty is theirs to provide enough value to the user to justify the data.
What kind of legal limitation have social networks encountered in those terms?
So, social networks are subject to laws that are growingly being enacted in different countries. So, of course, this varies both by geo, by location, by country, and with time. So, by geo meaning that laws in Europe and Asia and America are all quite different, and they are changing with time. Okay. The second phenomenon is really a sociological phenomenon that we do not understand. Okay. So people say, for instance, that teenagers put a lot of information on a social network. I don't know what happens to those teenagers 20 years from now. Will they still be putting a lot of information in the future, or will they be behaving like their parents and become conservative? So this is a stage of evolution that we have not witnessed yet, and we have yet to see. And I don't think we can answer now how today's teenagers will behave in 20 years.
So it's too early to understand if it can be dangerous. This is the sense.
It is too early to understand how users will react to the dangers they perceive of this.
We all use Google as our primary search engine. Can we expect substantial innovation in the future of your search engine, or has Google perfected the formula?
Google has not perfected the formula. Nobody has perfected the formula. The quest for search engines is to try and give the user not many links, but to give the answer to their question. So that when you, for instance, type the name of a movie, I don't want to give you 6 million pages containing the movie name. I want you to see the trailer. I want you to see the actresses or actors. I want you to know that there is a showing in 2 hours in the theater near your house. Okay? That is the kind of answer we want to give. When you say, what is the height of Mount Everest, we want you to give the height, 8,000 meters, not many links. So in the future, we will increasingly give you the answers, and we are already taking some steps towards this. For more and more queries, we directly give you the answer and not just links. That is the evolution that we are going through.
What advice would you give a student interested in following a similar career to yours? And what should the university introduce into the curriculum to foster this kind of student?
So I think the most important advice I could give a student is that a university is not a place to get answers. A university is a place where you learn to ask questions, because the world never belongs to the people who know all the answers. They are not curious. The world belongs to people who learn to ask the question which has not been answered yet. And universities are where you learn to ask those questions. Otherwise, you will only do what your professor told you to do. And beyond that, to develop a career in this new world of ours where technology meets society, I think it's really important for the technologists to try and understand the social implications of what they do, not just the computers and the systems and the algorithms, but really what people are doing with this technology? That is the big question.